Hello again, everybody. Just a few minutes here to walk through the syllabus and take a quick peek at the course Blackboard site so we can all hit the ground running this first week of class, which starts up on Monday. All right, so if you look at the screen, you can see the syllabus before you. You can find a copy of this syllabus, the same thing, on the course Blackboard site. At the top, you can see my name. Again, my name is Dr. Jeff Winkle, professor here of humanities at GRCC. Um, I don't really have an office this semester. Everything's under construction, and of course, because of COVID, everyone is less available in person. But if you want to, if you want to get together and talk about something, you can make an appointment with me, or just grab me before or after class is the best way to do that. And again, outside of class, the best way to get a hold of me is by my email address here, jeffreywinkle@grcc.edu. You can find the same contact information on the course Blackboard site too. All right, about this class. So we're this is Greek mythology, and for the most part, we're going to be studying about 95% of what we will be reading and talking about will be mythology from the ancient Greeks. But along the way, we'll mix in some other things if we have time from some earlier forerunners to the Greeks, ancient Mesopotamians, maybe some Egyptian ideas, and then maybe some ideas brought in by the Romans after this. But we call this classical mythology, but for the most part, we're really talking about the ancient Greeks. And we're going to be reading lots of literature. We'll be discussing kind of myth as religion, archaeology, history, philosophy, all kinds of stuff crammed into one, and looking at various media and film and literature, drama, comedy, prose, poetry, anything that kind of is an interesting filter through which to hear these and learn about these stories. You can have a look at the kind of the learning outcomes on your own. Again, I don't want to drag this out. In the welcome video, I talked to you about um, the course texts. Get these as soon as possible. Both a translation of Homer's Odyssey and Barry Powell's classical myth text, which will be our anchor text. Again, available through the GRCC bookstore or on Amazon or anywhere you can find a good deal on these kinds of things. When it comes to kind of clearinghouse of any other text I want you to read, weekly assignments, reading quizzes, this will be all on the course Blackboard site. So check that out and kind of click through it as soon as you can. My attendance policy for an online class is really just, it comes down to kind of timely submission of any assignment, and responding to film forums, getting your quizzes done on time, getting your midterm, your final exam, your paper done on time. And so again, if I don't have any record of you attending the class or submitting anything for kind of for the first 2 weeks of class, then I will report this absence to the student records office. The course itself, in terms of grading, is worth a total of 1,000 possible points. We'll be watching a number of films and doing a number of readings along the way. I'll ask you to respond to some questions on the Blackboard site worth 150 points. There will be kind of more or less weekly reading quizzes that you'll take online. Of course, timed reading quizzes, more about that in just a second, worth a potential 250 points. There'll be one formal research paper. You don't have to worry about that now, but we'll talk about that later as we get into the class. And there'll be 2 formal tests in the class. There'll be a midterm and a final exam, and these will be essay-based. Kind of the idea in this class is that kind of your weekly reading quizzes take care of kind of the details of the course, the who, what, where, why, when, that kind of thing. And the midterm and the final are essay based, where I'll ask you to kind of look at bigger picture things, compare and contrast ideas that we necessarily haven't done week to week or in video lectures, and show me that you can kind of take many pieces of the class, put them together, and analyze them, or I'll give you an argument and see either defend this argument or argue against it. And again, as these things approach, these will, of course, will be take home. I'll give you plenty of time to work on them and submit them. But as they approach, we will also do some review, and I'll give you kind of an idea of what you can expect along the way. Here's my grading scale. I just put this in here so we're all on the same page. And so kind of, like I said, 1,000 possible points for the class. 950 to 1,000 points would be an A. 900 to 949 would be an A minus. I put this in here also just because I've heard from other students that at GRCC they've had several classes where a 93, or in this class would be 930 points to 1,000 would be a straight A. My grading scale is maybe a little bit more demanding there. I don't think that you'll find me a particular kind of harsh or really kind of nitpicky grader. But I do think that a straight A needs to be earned and should reflect work that's a cut above. So I publish this here just so there's no question in the final tally. Yeah, late assignment policy. I will have clear deadlines, particularly as we start getting into the course. I'll be a little bit lenient at the beginning just because I know people are getting their texts and they're still kind of getting used to this online thing. But as we get in, I'll assume people have the text, assume people can kind of complete each week's assignment as assignments as we go in. And so there will be clear deadlines that I will expect you to follow. Your participation will really be kind of focused on, will be really graded in these regular forums that we'll have throughout the course. So we'll do a reading, and I'll give you kind of a thought question, or we'll watch a film and I'll ask you to respond to some questions about that film. And you can look at the grading rubric here. To each of those forums will be worth a potential 25 participation points. And here's just a rubric that kind of shows you how when I read your responses, how I arrive at the points grade that I give you. Here's the course schedule. We'll be just, again, I don't want to dwell on these things. This will become something, of course, you can look at yourself. We'll be talking about the first week, just kind of myth in general, kind of a broad look at the various Greek gods and goddesses themselves. How do we interpret myth? We'll talk about kind of the beginnings of things, origin stories, creation myths. Where did the Greeks think that their world came from? Where do they think their gods came from? And then we'll get into Homer, which will dominate our agenda for a number of weeks. We'll be reading the entirety of Homer's Odyssey together, and along the way we'll be looking at specific gods and goddesses in the Greek pantheon: Athena, Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, and the like. And this will more or less take us down to the midpoint of the class. After we read the Odyssey, we will watch the Coen brothers' "O Brother, Where Art Thou?" Wonderful film, which is a really loose but really wonderful take on Homer's Odyssey, repackaged in the American South in the 1930s, starring George Clooney as the Odysseus character. I'll assign the midterm at the end of that 7th week. You'll have a spring break. If you want to work on things during spring break, you can. You don't have to. I'll give you a full week to work on the take-home midterm after spring break. After that, we will kind of segue into a unit looking at myth as religion. What did it mean for the ancient Greeks to actually worship these gods? And then a section on Greek drama. We'll be reading a number of Greek tragedies together as a really kind of unique and specific lens through which we can view these famous myths. And then we'll end with a section on heroes, and the greatest hits here. We'll be looking at Heracles, Theseus, Jason, and Perseus in particular. So in the syllabus here, you can see the topic and also the reading assignments for that week. Each of these assignments, each reading assignment will be coupled with a reading quiz that you'll find in a weekly folder on the course Blackboard site. And the way that will work, I might have skipped over it here. Maybe it's not here. So the reading quizzes will be kind of a timed reading quiz on each reading assignment. Again, I'm not out to trick you, but these reading quizzes will be usually somewhere between 10 and 20 multiple choice questions on a reading. And I'll time them just to kind of keep you honest. And this is just to prevent, this is one, to encourage you to actually do the reading and do it carefully. And two, just to prevent people just taking a quiz and book flipping to find the answer. I really want you to do your best to read these things carefully and digest them. And that's most of this stuff is really on you, particularly in an online course. It's up to you to tackle this stuff and to get it done on time and to digest it. We're not going to have, like I said, we're not going to have synchronous times together to discuss these things. So it really is kind of an independent study. So don't fall behind. So each of the quizzes, you'll click them open. So say for like a 10 question quiz, you'll have 15 minutes to do it. And I'm not out to trick you. I'm not going to kind of pull things from footnotes or obscure things. It really is just to test basic comprehension of the readings due for that day or for that week, and those points will total up to that part of your final grade under reading quizzes. We'll take a look at these in the course Blackboard site in just a moment. At the bottom of the syllabus, you can see the college policies. I mean, these are kind of rote things that every syllabus will have. You can look at them at your own leisure. All right, let's go over to the course Blackboard site. So if you go to the course Blackboard site, it'll look something like this. There'll be kind of a welcome announcement message on the front page here, kind of a cartoon of the major ancient Greek gods. The links at the left are the important things here. So you can find a link to the syllabus, some research resources. Those will become important for the paper as we get into them. You can find my contact information here. Any forums that I ask you to respond to, you can find here. I'll also have links in the weekly assignments. So if you click on weekly assignments here, you'll find kind of the orientation here. Here you'll find the welcome video that I sent around, this video that you're watching right now. And you'll find the folder for week 1. So if I click that open, what you'll find is each week's folder will have a number of assignments that I'm asking you to do. So for this week, a little cartoon of Zeus and Hera at the top. This week's assignments, watch the videos in the orientation folder, view the video lecture, What is Myth? I'll have a number of video lectures, and these will take you to YouTube links where I will lecture on a particular topic. Read chapters 1 through 3 in the classical myth textbook, that main text by Barry Powell. And then there's a reading quiz for you to do. So if you open this quiz, you'll see this quiz contains 18 multiple choice questions on these 3 chapters. You have 27 minutes to complete the quiz, and you may attempt the quiz twice. Every quiz that I'll give you online, you can attempt twice, but just know that your scores will be averaged. And you don't have to take it twice. Once you finish a quiz, the software should show you which questions you got wrong. It won't tell you the right answer, but it'll show you which ones you got wrong. And you can use that information to go back into a second attempt to take it again and hopefully boost your score. But if you take it and the software tells you that you got them all right, or you got a score that you like, there's no need for you to take it again, and that one grade will go directly to your grade book. All right, that's all I got for you. I hope you'll find things fairly intuitive. But again, let me know of any questions you have as we get going. The Blackboard site is fully open to you now, and you should be able to get to work as soon as you want to, as soon as you can on the week 1 assignments. All right, see you later.